Yeah, so for anyone who's got questions, this would be the ideal time to ask away. I'd rather just not sit here in silence anyway, macking on my food, so. Gym's open a bit more, gonna lose weight, eat right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't gain anything, to be honest, on quarantine. Because, I mean, I generally lived a pretty similar life before. Um, but, you know. I just am, like, preferring to just not feel like garbage all the time. I say that as I had, like, fucking 2 or 3 hours of sleep or some shit last night. Like 4 or 5. Alright, I'm gonna put one of my fucking drinks away. But yeah. Yeah, messed up meal prep, ate out a lot, beef prices went up, yeah. My problem with meal prep has always been, like, I am bad with portion control. So, like, I would just fucking, like, meal prep too much stuff. And then I'd just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat 2 of these instead of 1 a day. Food prices being high. Butcher, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I never, I mean, my buying habits are always weird. I go through little phases of buying things. But yeah, I kind of always have the same amount of money no matter what I'm doing. If I have a lot of money, I spend a lot. If I don't have a lot, I don't spend a lot. I don't really mind going out to eat as long as it's not too much. I recommend to learn the game and improve quickly. I mean, the easiest cop out answer is to just like play. Because that's how you're going to improve. But if you see something, just like question it, like quite literally everything. You know, or like try to get creative with it. So basically, if you like, let's say that you see someone running fucking Samira with blue buff. So Samira's a champion that doesn't have mana. So blue buff does nothing. You have to question whether or not there's like a bug or something with Samira right now, and that's why people are doing it, or if the person's just stupid. And then basically you go through this testing phase of, see something, account for it, and then, adapt, improve. Alright, I'm gonna call one of my friends too. I'll still be answering chats and stuff, but I just want to be talking with him a little bit in this.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's good?
Not much fun, funnily. That was a comp game.
Yeah, how'd your game go?
We won, but it was a nightmare. The Argarian just kept ending the set over and over and over again.
I'm
But
weak as fuck.
it's kind of an idiot and basically went like full. I don't even know if it's full damage, but he went like Blade of the Rune King, Stridebreaker, Stairx Gauge.
Right.
and I was playing Nidalee, so I don't really have a chance of actually like killing him 1-on-1.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you hopping into more games? I take it.
Yeah, I've been grinding. I just got silver 2 on. I'm pretty much like one tricking Nidalee at this point because I really like how she plays, and I do think she's actually like in like a good spot right now. She's not like too overpowered, but she's not. She's like under the radar, so she's not going to get gutted again.
Yeah, that's always the best.
Yeah, yeah, and she's people don't know how to play against her because most Nidalees suck ass. But I was
Yeah, Lee, I would say
that
probably
set was
if you can't, like, if you can have any time during your 12-hour shifts to actually like consume content that isn't like actually playing the game, that's probably a good way to try and consume more at the same time. Yeah, I got you. I know how that shit goes. I was trying to talk to Chad at the same time, so I muted myself for a second.
You're good, homie. Luckily, me and Malzahar were able to carry that game hardcore.
I'm weak.
But so far, I'm on a 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak, something like that. 4-game. Also, if you ever play like actual League again, try out the new Lucidity boots. They're stupid broken.
Well, lay it on me. What's up with them?
I don't know, but I don't know exactly. Like, it's the ability haste changes, I think. I don't know exactly why they feel so broken. Maybe it just is on Italy, but like when I don't use Lucidity boots and I have to go like Sorks and like I'm versus like 2 tanks or something. When I'm not playing Lucidity, I can actually feel the difference on the character, like just from the boots. It's weird, but I think it's good because it actually makes your like boot choice matter.
That's how whatever you call it used to be. The thing that reduced the crowd control duration.
The Merc Treads.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like sometimes you kind of get like when they have a tank top and tank jungle, you kind of get forced into going Sork.
It really does come down to a lot of
like throw spears and keep
the time management because I know how it is.
But
a lot of people have.
When there's not that going on, those city boots feel so good, dude.
A lot of people have a lot less time, but it is really just about trying.
It also
to
helps because it brings your red smite up faster.
I mean, you're a farmer and everything, so you probably know how to optimize your time really well. I'm sure you could translate that really easily to learning.
I will say, in Italy on actual League is much more fun than Italy in TFT.
Right. She's like discount Caitlyn from
like, yeah, and she's like. She's just, I don't know, I think she's just really boring in how she works in TFT. I mean, I guess she's a 1 cost, so it makes sense, but...
Yeah.
She's my favorite champion in the game right now, so I guess I'm biased on that she should be more
You're
fun.
angry, baby raging. Did you get plat, in set 4?
Yeah, I got plat 2. Which is actually higher than I did in 3.5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
But yeah, and then I lost motivation to play. I really haven't played much TFT. I played like a couple games with that Spud guy.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, because he likes playing it and he doesn't have a PC, so he just plays on his phone. But,
right. Yeah. How'd you like the fucking new set?
Well, considering I only really played the Dragon Soul thing and I couldn't force it the second game, it's all right so far.
Yeah. Dragon Soul's like really iffy.
Yeah, it feels like a.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Because you require shit to hit you.
Yeah, so because I keep seeing people build like Shyvana like damage wise.
Yeah, but they're not playing Dragon Soul.
Really?
They're playing Brawler.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's interesting. Definitely a weird set. But I'm sure like as time goes on, things will come out that'll make it a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always the new information is always a lot to see at first. But I don't think it's that bad of a transition. It's just like a lot of the mid-game stuff is kind of weird. Like, there's carries that are, like, like, all the keepers, I'm pretty sure, are ranged now.
Really?
So, like, the way that you play keeper is you don't have to put anything in the front line anymore. I'm going to look at it real quick. Just so I'm not, giving wrong information. Yeah, no. Now No, okay. So, Jarvan is the only one who's a melee. Meanwhile, I think, like, Riven was a melee. I don't think there was another one.
So is Elise, like, fully ranged now, then, for a keeper?
She's been ranged. She turns into a melee, but she's been ranged. I consider her
Okay,
ranged.
yeah.
I consider her ranged because she's ranged up until something is in her face, and then she's melee. But, that doesn't really change anything.
Spud sent me a message earlier and goes, "I beat Fuffin!" Exclamation point.
I'm weak.
He said something in the morning. He's like, "Man, I kind of hate playing against tryhards." I'm like, "Well, the thing is, we're just not even like trying hard.
Right.
We're just playing whatever sounds fun."
Well, no doubt. Yeah, best force for this set would probably be, I'd say Olaf. The biggest thing is that, to be able to force, you have to, like, be able to hit it consistently, and it has to be able to do good. And Olaf is what that is right now, but it very well could change patch by patch. They might gut Olaf next patch.
This misfortune hates her life.
I'm weak.
I love invade. I love like doing like little like not like full invades, but like just like chucking spears into bushes that people sit in during the early game.
Oh yeah.
And just watching them lose all their HP in 2 spears.
That's why I liked Earth in Italy.
Well, okay, so her spear is weird because I feel like on some thinner models it like hits way easier, and then on like bigger models it'll like go through half the model. And it's like I don't understand how it didn't hit, but whatever.
Another chat question, by the way. Best thing to learn with limited time. I would say probably Elderwood, because Elderwood has the most variations that are flexible. Divine would probably be okay to some extent, but
Oh my god, my red reset! I want to cry.
get wrecked. But like, okay, so you can go Brawlers with Elderwood, you can go Keeper with Elderwood, you can go Mage with Elderwood, you can go like just Xayah carry with Elderwood. So I would say trying to learn Elderwood Flex or Brawlers. I think the biggest way that you're going to be able to climb is that if you just kind of forget about team comps in general and just associate carry plus, like, associate the 3 pieces of a team, which is you need your damage carry, you need your front line, and you need your backline access. So if you build a team, let's say that you have Xayah as your damage carry, your front line can be any variation of Brawlers or Keepers, because Xayah is also a Keeper, and then you can just use your backline access, which can be something like an Assassin or something like Vigar, who attacks the enemy backline at the start of the fight or whatever. So that's just how you'd rather think of it. Plus, playing like that would allow you to play better units. So if you're saying, like, okay, we're going to play Xayah plus, like, Vanguard, you could do that. What carries are worth it this patch? Aurelion Soul, if you can go mages. I would say Xayah. Xayah's pretty decent. I'm just going to go over the 4 costs because the 5 costs are kind of self-explanatory. Olaf is pretty good. Tryndamere like okay. Talon is good if you can run 6 Enlightened. And Morgana's pretty decent, but I always use her as a backup carry because she only needs 1 item to do a lot of work. But it's all about trying to build your team and then, like, exploiting all of the fucking weaknesses of your opponents. Or maximizing the benefits that your team has. So, like, for Dragon Soul's fucking weird, right? Dragon Soul's weird because, like, they have, like, 1 or 2 auto-attacking champions. And the rest are, like, tanks or mages. So, like, you get attack speed and spell power, which is good for the mages and the auto-attackers, but not for the tanks. You know, the things that are supposed to get Dragon Soul first. Plus, Dragon Soul is very weird because, like, you don't have control over it. You can try to position as best as you can, but positioning errors happen all the time in TFT's spaghetti code. But if we're talking about, like, closing out games for first, I'd say probably Samira, Set, and probably still Yone as your late game carries. Yep, Olaf, Xayah, or Aesol. Those are like the safest because you can always guarantee getting 4 costs in a game. You can't really guarantee getting 5 costs. So if you get like Jeweled Gauntlet, Infinity Edge, you can just go for fucking Aurelion Soul. Alternatively, if you hit a Set, you can put them on Set. If you go, if you have like Hannah Justices or whatever, you can put them on Xayah. I think Xayah is like really flexible with items. I think she just needs like Hand of Justice, maybe GA, and then maybe another damage item. And then Olaf is like attack speed, attack damage, and maybe a Titans. And then you just build the extra stuff around it.
I'm losing the 80 carry lottery right now.
RIP.
I wasted my flash to try and run in and leveled up my E to rank 2 to try and like save this Varus and this Rammus that was on him. And he just kept walking forward to go kill his MF that he was never going to catch up to. I'm like, bro, what do you do?
I ever tell you that I don't miss League? Because I don't.
I don't either. I just like, it's a challenge, and then like other games like can't give me the same like challenging feeling, I guess. And like part of it is the fact that my teammates always suck. And like there's also games where I run it down too.
Consistency is really the hardest thing.
Like I got double scuttled, but
so set carry isn't really like a big thing that you would actually run. When I say like set carry, it's mostly just like he uses Jeweled Gauntlets really well. Because he comes back and does true damage. So if you hit Jeweled Gauntlet Infinity Edge, then you can go for Aesol, or you can go for Set. Those are just 2 examples of people who use those items really well. Kindred can use them pretty well. Twisted Fate can use them pretty well, especially if you 3-star him and get him going in the early game. To some extent, Vygar can use them really well. These are just some examples. Nico can use that really well. So these are all the options if you have those items, right? So in general, you're going to get those items, and then whenever you find any of those champions, by getting those items, you maximize the amount of good champions that can use those items. Hey, I'm eating me mac and cheese. I'm eating a tostada and some rice.
I just leveled up my Q instead of my R at level 6.
RIP. Use Kindred as an item holder for Ashe. Yeah, that's a good thing. Kindred can definitely be a good Ashe item holder. And that's a good concept to be learning. You know, to constantly be gaining value out of your whatever you call it, out of your stuff, your items. But it is really on your items. But I think this set is probably really good for balance. Because, like, You really can't get fucked with items anymore. Um, Last set you had the all defensive carousels, which they have removed. Um, and then you also have the lanterns. Now the lanterns are one of the coolest fucking things. I don't know if we had them in our games, did we?
This morning.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were lanterns or whatever, but I got like a dice or something to let me reroll a
Mm-hmm.
shop.
The big red orb.
Yeah, yeah. No, I haven't. I didn't do any look up any of the patch notes or anything. I just
Yeah.
started playing.
So basically, the lanterns. I do occasionally do coaching. Yeah, I don't usually do much more than like VOD reviews sometimes, but I'm always down. Um, the lanterns basically give you consumables that let you change the RNG of the game. So, like, there's like the loaded dice, right? That's the one that you just throw it on something and then it'll give you a bunch of things. It'll load your shop full of champions of the same origins based on whatever level you are. So, there's that one, and then there's one that changes a component or an item. So if you have a Negatron cloak, for example, you just use that component thing on it, and it'll give you a different component. So it's really hard to get fucked for items now, and as such, you can get pretty much any items and can do whatever you want. I think that this set has a lot of skill expression, and last set, like I said, they had like the defensive carousels and all that shit. Now you have the lucky lanterns, which don't show up every game, I will say, but when they do show up, it gives everybody a really big chance to actually show their skill. They can completely save you in your games. In addition to the fact that it's just giving you more shit, which is always awesome. I love it when they give me more shit. I hope they don't nerf the fucking Lucky Lanterns. I should have got chips and salsa with this.
What'd you get for lunch?
I got a tostada.
Nice. Dude, you really put me on that whole tortoise shit though for a minute, bro. We kept going to the taco place, and they had these fire tortas, and none of my buddies would order them. I'm like, bro, this is literally like the best.
Bro, they're so good. I just had to get tostadas because I'm like, I'm not trying to eat too much bread right now. I barely ate anything yesterday. My eating habits have been like so fucked up.
I feel you.
But I mean, shit, this is decent. Yeah, I mean, I played on the PBE though for
Yeah,
lot
you were
of this
saying
shit.
something about the PvE.
Yeah.
I never got an account for it.
I'm like, yeah, I had to. You know me. I'm always like constantly trying to fucking figure this shit out.
Right. Oh, this game is gonna be a fucking hard one, dude.
All you gotta do is come back to TFT.
No, because I'm gonna lose that even harder.
I'm so weak. Yeah, but you got platinum in TFT.
Yeah, but platinum and TFT feels like silver in normal league.
Mm-hmm. But it's platinum.
Oh my god, dude. I've never seen people die to so many Rammus ganks in my life. All you had to do was stop dying. And yeah. Well, my investment in my top laner didn't work. I decided that camping the Nasus was probably the best choice to keep him down, and now my Camille is 0-3.
I'm fucking weak.
I tried so hard to let her take the kills too. I was like, I don't actually need these kills. You can have them.
Not me. When I played League, I was so fucking greedy.
I mean, I am too, but like I also realize that if she can keep Nasa down for me, I can actually focus the other lanes because we have an Anivia
Yeah. But
support.
that's trusting people, you know? And me,
Yeah.
I treated everyone in League, I was just like, you guys are all a bunch of fucking babies who have wet forks and are in an outlet factory. So I'm gonna take everything away from you, and I'm just gonna fucking babysit the game, and I'll fucking carry it, whatever. And I was like, I cannot trust you. You are all a bunch of children.
I'm just gonna let you push this, bro. No way, no.
But that's why I had to stop with that, because eventually I started being like, you know what, maybe I want to stick my fucking fork in the outlet too.
Dude, there's fun shit about sticking your fork in the outlet. No, well, they're taking my jungle because bottom lane doesn't exist anymore.
I can't even talk about that because I used to do that shit too.
Oh, I don't mind if like my jungle gets stolen from like my team or whatever, but bottom lane hasn't had like they're playing Varus in Italy, and they just keep pushing up and getting ganked by Rammus, and they're like Pika surprise when their fucking lane gets ganked.
Nidalee
They're going,
support?
Anivia support. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Nidalee.
No, I'm playing Italy jungle right
I
now.
saw.
I'm
I was
3-0.
confused.
I'm just gonna like hard farm and try and like get one shot spears going because there's no way I can go in on that.
I always like Nidalee's micro mechanics.
Oh my god, dude! Again, you guys are. Oh my god.
I don't miss League. I so don't miss League. I
Oh,
don't. I don't miss it. I really don't.
Why you guys suck so bad?
Is the
Thank
K-pop
you.
chick still like permabanned?
Which one?
The K-pop bitch?
Oh, there's a couple of them now, so you gotta specify more.
I don't know. One of them, the new one. I don't know. I saw the video and saw the dislikes, giggled, and clicked off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you gank me. Oh, why would you use your? That's why she's losing this lane is because she throws her stun for no reason.
You are Arthur fisting so hard right now, I can tell.
It's less of that and more just like existential dread of knowing the fact that no matter what I do in this game, I lose. Like I'm 4-0 and I can try and do anything, but like I just
That was
there's
that was
no
what I
chance.
always like with League. It was like I could be like 6-0, and I still have to have effort. Like I
Well,
already put in effort,
I'm
and I still have to
4-0,
have
but
one.
they have a 6-0 Fizz, a 2-0 set, 2-0 and 7 Rammus,
Yeah,
and a 5-2-4 Misfortune. And it's like, well, I guess I'm just
yeah. It's
yeah.
like
You dude,
it always felt like way
at
too
least
much
Fizz
work.
can't hit his ultimates.
Way too much work
Bullshit.
for way little reward.
I wish I could help top, but it's just so far done now.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I stopped having fun with solo queue too.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's not.
at least TFT is like, for the most part, I like play TFT alone, so it's fine. I enjoy it a whole lot more than I like to League alone. League almost felt like I needed people to play with all the time. TFT is funny with people, don't get me wrong.
I'm just gonna have to like go for like the cheesiest fucking kills here and try and like hope that I have enough damage to one shot somebody later on. Actually, I don't even know why I'm building Lichbane to be totally honest, because there's zero chance that I get to use it.
I mean, if that Rammus goes tank, don't you lose anyway?
Well, I'm building purposely like somewhat anti-tank because the new passive on Ludens, for all the other legendary items you build gives you magic pen.
Mm.
So it helps deal with tanks a little bit. We can.
I can't wait
But
till they.
Rammus has a million movement speed, and I can't catch up. So
I can't wait till they rework Rammus and give him a tragic backstory.
I wish they just write him like yes, 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 yes over and over again.
He was cursed. He used to be a poet, and then he was cursed by the god of turtles to only be able to say yes, and okay. That's his tragic backstory.
Oh, dude, I tried to get him, but he's just too fast. I can't catch up. He doesn't have any magic resistance. I still deal no damage to him because he immediately, as soon as I like jump onto him, he Qs away, or I don't know if that's the right ability, but he like runs away or whatever, and it's outranges my Q, so I can't get my my spear proc on him.
That was the funniest thing when I played Karma Top, and when Glacial Augment was like a thing or whatever.
That rune was so stupid. It's still really dumb, but it's the less
I used to play against Darius's, and literally all I would do is auto them and walk away. Because if they were coming at me, I had time to auto them and walk away, and none of their abilities had the range to hit me.
Right. I miss I miss Stormator Surge on Riven back in the day when I used to run it into Tryndamere every single time, so I could go and trade and just leave.
Right.
I liked that rune system a lot more, and I like this new rune system.
I have no idea what the new rune systems even are.
It's the Glacial Augment thing, but I'm talking about the
Oh, like Thunderlords and shit like that.
yeah, like Thunderlords.
Okay.
That was when it was like actually like cool because
Yeah. What do I like about TFT the most? That it doesn't stress me the fuck out. Like League.
yeah, no, League is stressful because you have to focus so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I'm literally the only thing that I have a chance of to win this game is just out macroing the enemy right now, and which is not gonna happen because for some reason my Katarina's mid instead of bottom feeding like everybody else.
What do I like about TFT the most? The fact that I can play alone and like I am responsible for everything that happens in my game. Because the percentage that you actually can like low roll like so hard is so low. Like TFT is all it's just about like maximizing your percentages. And like people talk about RNG and stuff, but like there's not really that much RNG in TFT. There's plenty of RNG, don't get me wrong. I mean, earlier today I rolled down like 60 gold or something and couldn't find a Fiora.
Okay, you
But,
can't
like,
go. You can't go in when I'm trying to like do something in the game. You have to go wait.
This guy says like when I play TFT, I have to focus, but it doesn't make me stress like League. Yeah, it's because you
Wow,
know
that's
like
slow. It's kind of ridiculous. Holy shit.
if there's any issue, you don't have anyone to blame. Like that's one thing. I think that a lot of people when they play League might fuck up, but then they still want to go and blame somebody because there's someone there to yell at. But with TFT, you can only yell at the game system. And I've gotten in a couple arguments with people. I don't know. Maybe I got in an argument with one of the people from 7A about it too, because they were just like, "Oh my god, TFT is such bullshit because the RNG and blah blah blah," and I'm like, "No." They're like, "Yeah, what do you mean it's not RNG?" I'm like, "You're wrong." I was just like, "No, there's not. You're wrong. You're bad." Like that's it. Like you're just playing poorly. Like the RNG that you're saying exists does not exist in the game.
Yeah.
It's like the whole Elo hell thing.
Well, they don't understand the fact that the entire like concept of the game at TFT is to use percentages to your advantage.
Yeah. Yeah,
and use
because
them to,
it's
like,
nothing
target
guaranteed, but it's just like any card game. You're just maximizing your percentages. It's like poker, you know. Right. You know that if variable A exists at a percentage of X, that you have AX as your outcome, and so you just have to maximize for that outcome. I talked about this in one of my videos where I think it's my value one, which is all about maximizing value in TFT. Literally this exact concept. Basically, if you're looking for Fiora at level 9, you're going to have a very hard time because it's easier to find 5 cost than 1 cost at level 9.
Right.
If you're looking for a 2 cost chosen, like Zed, say you have perfect Zed items, The second you go to level 5, your odds drop horrifically, so you don't take an early chosen. Or at least
Okay,
that was
why
the
did it
strategy
not
before.
back? What?
But that's like it's just stuff like that. Like people don't know how to optimize their stuff. It's like your optimal roll times. If you're rolling for 1 costs, your optimal roll time is level 5. Now at levels 3 and 4, you have a higher chance, yes, but you have more gold at level 5. So when you take that, percentage of, I think it's like 25 or something percent versus like 35. When you take that 25 versus 35, like that 10% discrepancy is made up by the like 40 gold difference you have over the course of the next 4 turns. And then you just have to weigh, is that the odds of that happening worth possibly losing 1 or 2 fights? If yes, then proceed. And then you will have about 50 gold more than you would, and you'll have a better level. If no, then hyper roll right now, and if you hit, then you're going to win streak for the next 5 rounds, hopefully. And if you don't hit, you are going to bottom 4. So,
Right.
that's the high risk, high reward playstyle. Like that's why hyper roll kind of fell out, because people were like, not really any Zayas in the game. There's not really a 1 cost carry that can really, really tear the entire thing apart. So, I mean, there's that, but like, there's just those reasons as to why people are doing things like that. But that's why I just never accept that. Like, again, a different person from 7A was arguing with me that, oh my god, this was bullshit and blah 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 and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, homie, you got 6th, I got 1st. If the game is bullshit, how did I get 1st? How have I gotten 1st the last 3 games? How have you gotten a 4th and 2 6th the last 3 games? It's not the game. You're bad. Get good. Stop bitching. Like, please don't bitch to me. Because I've already taken the time to learn all this. So when you complain to me about these things that I have proven are wrong, it's just like you're like trying to make a cop out for your skill while still trying to be skill oriented. It just doesn't work for me. It's like if I've already spent the time to learn the game and you're just going to complain because you haven't learned the game yet and are refusing to, you don't get my sympathy. It's like I already put in the work. Now it's your turn. If you don't want to, then sorry, but you're wrong and I have factual evidence to prove it. Still like to play League. I enjoy it. I want to take a break from TFT. Yeah, I think it's still definitely fine to play both games. My time with League is just done, personally. For me, I am very obsessive with how I learn things. So when I do something, I do it to the fucking most. Which is how I like developed my own fucking strategy for playing TFT. And the one that got me into Masters for set 4. It's literally just like, if I do something, I do it to the fucking most. I think with the exception of streaming, because I have no fucking idea how to stream, and I'm doing this shit just sort of like as best as I can, and then we're just kind of seeing where it goes. But I mean, even my first couple of videos on this channel were like pretty well done, I would say. My issue is that if I got back into League, I would literally spend way too much time trying to figure out everything about it. I would spend so much time trying to learn everything. And I am just aware that that would not be in anyone's best interest. Especially now that I have this channel and that I like this channel and that I like actually producing content on this channel and, stuff like that. Now, I don't think I'll be doing TFT stuff forever. Eventually, I'll probably move to something else. But, I mean, for now, TFT is what I enjoy. And we'll see. But if TFT doesn't get, like, a lot of support, I'd say within a calendar year, I'll probably end up quitting it and moving to some other game. Or if I keep streaming and people enjoy the personality, I'll just fucking talk and then people can discuss it.
Oh, dude, that was a fucking. I knew that game was coming. I'm not allowed to win 5 games in a row.
I'm so weak.
I tried so hard.
You know, TFT is always here.
I went 8-2-2, right? Had 150 farm in Italy, which isn't the best, but I was getting starved out super hard because we lost top, mid, and bottom tower about 10 minutes in the game.
That's a yikes.
So I'm trying to like farm the little camps that are being left up for me at that point.
You get the
and
crumbs.
yeah, and the support went 3-11-5. The mid laner went 6-9-2, and the top laner that I camped went 1-8-4. So
Goddamn.
yeah. Nivea says like 5 minutes in the game, man, this Rammus is everywhere. It's like, well, if you use wards, it's like 4 Rammus.
It's a Rammus.
So you can see him.
It's a Rammus.
Like, what do you think he's gonna do?
He can literally roll across the entire map.
Yeah. It's
Is
like,
that
well, you
like-
put your wards like away from the bushes and like on the path that he's gonna roll from. It's way easier to figure out when he's coming to gank you. I tried. It happens. Can't help stupid people.
Yeah. Chat says, I'm the same way. If I do something, I have to be good at it. With limited time, I only have a few things. Hunt, play a few single-player games. PS4 at my farm. Put the rest of it in my spare time in TFT. Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Like, we have such limited time for everything. Like, this is, like, I had a fucking existential crisis, like, with time for the longest time. And it was like, okay, well, if we spend 8 hours a day asleep, 8 hours a day at, like, work or school, we have 8 hours a day to ourselves. So by the time you're 21, it's like you've had 7 years of your life to yourself, and the other 14 are gone. And that's not counting, like, maybe obligatory family events that cut into your spare time, or your work commute that might cut into your spare time, or your bus ride to school that might cut into your spare time. So yeah, once you have that kind of a fucking crisis, time becomes very, very important. So I just can't dedicate time to a bunch of stuff that I personally just don't care about that much. I mean, this is a really petty example, but like, I don't fold my laundry. I just do not fold my fucking laundry. It seems like such a fucking waste of time to me. I'd literally just put it in a basket, and I have a dirty basket. I have 2 dirty baskets and a clean basket. And I move my clean basket into my room, and then I put on my clothes out of the clean basket, and that's it. That's it. If there's like a fucking funeral or something I go to, I'll address that when it comes, and then I'll fucking throw the shit in the dryer and get out the wrinkles. But like, there's just some things that I just can't wish to dedicate time to, because I know how valuable time is, which is why like when people watch my stream, it's always fucking weird to me, because like you guys are actually like spending your time listening to me fucking rant and eat a fucking tostada. Like, I mean, I get it. I've done the same thing, but like, it's just weird when it happens on the other end, I guess.
Yeah, man, it's crazy when you think about 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you think about the fact that you spend, on average, 2.5 hours, like, getting ready / getting home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Or getting ready / going to getting home from work, all that combined. So it's like 10.5 hours.
Not counting
8
any
hours.
time in the shower. Not counting any time eating.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm being very generous with those numbers.
That's my biggest annoyance when I was working my full-time job, was they were like, yeah, we're gonna have like an hour lunch, and at first I was like, oh, that's awesome, I love being able to have an hour like off work during the middle of the day. And like I realized that I'm just wasting more time sitting in my car not doing anything when I could just be like finishing my shift off.
Right. Yeah. I mean, once you're already there, it's kind of like a real big toss up there. Yeah, chat says I'm 22 right now, and time became extremely important to me when at 18 my dad died of a heart attack. Made me learn how valuable time is. Yeah, and this is something that's like, I guess, kind of like this isn't like funny in reference to that thing, because obviously that's super fucking sad. But Sweet Anita actually said something one time that was like really like eye-opening. She said, like, people keep asking for my fucking... And if you don't know who Sweet Anita is, she's a streamer who has Tourette's, and she's a girl. Okay, so she's a girl Twitch streamer, right? That's all, about all you need to know. But she said at one point, like, she's like, people fucking, like, have asked me for my Instagram, which is always weird, because I don't have an Instagram. And when you ask for someone's Instagram, it kind of comes off as, like, I want to view softcore porn of you. And it's just weird. So, like, and then she said she looked up her name in Google one time. And then, like, it was, like, Sweet Anita, like, thick compilation or some shit. And she's just like, there were so many screenshots of people, like, trying to get snippets of my feet and my ass when I get up from my chair. Like, just imagine, like, if the world ends right now, like, sun just explodes, everybody dies, and then you go meet whatever divine being you think, like, you know, you go meet your afterlife, and you have to tell them at the time of your death you were trying to watch some girl, like, on the internet to see if she showed a little bit too much shoulder, a little bit too much ankle, and just to try and get some sort of tiny sexual gratification by trying to, like, objectify a fucking woman in this really weird way. Like, that's how you spent your last moments of your life. Like, are you happy with that outcome and that result? When there's plenty of people on the internet who will willingly show you their body for money or for free. And that was just like, I'm like, that's pretty fucking, like, dudes can get fucking creepy with that shit sometimes. And then people spend a lot of time on that shit. I've seen fucking threads of shit. And I mean, it's what, if it's not my time to be dealing with stuff like that. But if someone else wants to take all their time drawing fanfic or whatever, by all means, it's their time. But, like, are you happy with it? Because if you are happy, by all means, go hard. Go crazy. If you're not happy, and if that's a little bit of an eye-opener, then, well, it's time to make a change.
If you want to be creepy on the internet, make sure you do it right. Go hard.
Right. If you do anything, do it, you know, do it smart. But, like, do you really want to be doing that? Like, I don't know. It's some weirdo shit.
Yeah, dude, time is a crazy concept too. Cause like, even just like from like me to like DJing and stuff, like choosing all those songs, I spent more time choosing those songs and like figuring out what songs I actually liked and like wanted to DJ with than I actually do like DJing the set songs.
Yeah, and that's another thing too that's kind of interesting. This is more so like toward investments and stuff. And I've actually talked about this with rank in TFT too, because it's kind of relevant. Mm-hmm. The journey of trying to get to something is often more valuable than actually getting it, right?
Oh,
so like, I mean, when I started playing TFT, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and get gold, and then I got gold. Then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and get platinum. Then I got platinum. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and get diamond. Then I got diamond in my first set. And then, like, I was just like, where do I go from here? Like, I've hit what I wanted. Do I keep going? Or, like, and then I hit masters. And I'm like, do I keep going? Do I keep, like, trying to push? Or, like what? Like, where do I stop, you know? And
that's how I felt when we first started playing League, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was bronze, and I was like, man, I just want to be gold like all my friends. And I hit gold 5 and stopped playing the game.
Right, exactly. And I mean, that's how you know, a couple of our mutual friends are that, you know, like, I mean, I've got a couple of you guys into platinum, and then most of you guys stop playing TFT right after you hit platinum. You're just like, I'm done. This is it. This is over.
It's because from bronze or iron to platinum is like, I feel like when you're platinum, you have like a basic grasp on like how the game functions.
It's a point of comfort, because I mean, like, it's very and I think there's a competitive nature in there too with all of you guys, but I mean, like, you know, at some point you just do stop. It's like, if you save up for something, like, let's say you want a fucking Rolex, you're gonna save up for months. It's all you can think about. You're gonna go to work every day to try to get this Rolex, and then you get it, and then what? Because, like,
twice a week.
Like that, like, right. I bought fucking grills. I bought fucking grills
I
and a
remember when
fucking Cuban link chain. Like, I spent a lot of
Yeah.
money. I have a lot of money in jewelry, and I wear it maybe once or twice a year. But when I do wear it, it's a nice thing. But I also am aware that like just striving for those things is a whole lot better than actually buying them.
Right.
I like to watch or listen to
That's where
streams
we-
while I do over things. Like I listen on my drive, doing laundry, watch the streams. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm like that all the time. I call it background noise. I always need something going on. When I get in the shower, I play a fucking YouTube video. If I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm probably doing something else while it's going on too. I'll be like on Facebook or another social, or maybe I'll be editing a video. If I get up from my desk, I pick my phone up and I open the YouTube app to watch a completely separate video. I'm always constantly consuming information, because I refuse to have my time wasted, and I refuse to have a moment of silence in my day. Because
Even when I'm going to sleep, I've got YouTube playing. I watch YouTube till I fall asleep.
yeah, I'll listen to like 5 hour long fucking videos on like retrospectives of series and shit. That shit's cool to me.
Yeah, I like listening to like different like I was in like podcasts there for a while, listening to a bunch of podcasts when I was sleeping, and like
Podcasts get really boring.
see, okay, there's some that get boring, but there's some that are entertaining, and there's some that like are annoying because you kind of have to watch the video to like get
Right,
the
yeah,
flow
I
of it.
can't do those. I can't do those.
Yeah.
I watched the Misfits podcast when they started. I watched Charlie
I
Critical's podcast.
I listen to a bunch of like especially on like way to work because like after you go to work for like 6 months straight listening to music every single morning, you kind of like sometimes you just need to switch up.
Right.
So I'll like put
I
on like
stopped
I
listening
did like
to
a bunch
music.
of like productivity podcasts and stuff,
Yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
stupid.
I was just like, I mean, I'd want to just hear funny shit mostly. Like, I just wanted to hear
Right.
information, basically. But I mean, that's just, I mean, like, I've always been like that. I just cannot even feel like dealing with other shit like that. It's
Yeah.
just like, it is pretty much like I need a commute if I'm gonna listen to podcasts, and
Oh, yeah.
if I don't have a drive, I'm not gonna listen to podcasts. And I
Yeah,
almost
that's
feel
my thoughts.
like if certain podcasts are too self-referential, that like I feel like I'm watching a fucking series, and like, oh, I missed an episode, I gotta go back and watch that, and then it becomes a chore. Like, I don't want my
Right.
entertainment to become a chore. It's why I also don't like ongoing series, because it's like I don't want to spend time out of my day waiting for something else. It's like I'll just wait for the fucking series to be over. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch a 10-minute video on YouTube summarizing it. That's pretty much like how I do it. Like I'll take whatever lessons from it and I'll watch a couple more and then that's it. Maybe I'll go back and watch it if I'm really interested, but like I just don't have time for a lot of long form content anymore.
Dude, I have an awful time trying to watch TV shows. I cannot just sit down and watch TV shows like all day long.
The only TV show, like excluding I guess anime, that I've watched, I think to completion within like the last 8 years, is Narcos, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
I just hate how much attention I have to pay to the TV show.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah,
like I like doing other things. Like I like watching like that's why I put like YouTube on when I'm like playing games or something. Or
no, I mean, Narcos is that especially because half of it's in fucking Spanish. So while I can hear it and understand it, my brain won't process it fast enough, especially when people are fucking screaming it at each other.
right.
Como
That's how, like,
mierda, puto
I
madre. I'm like, okay, hold up, let me go see it.
the last show that I watched to completion, I think, like in its entirety, was Game of Thrones, and then I didn't even watch the last season because I was like, this is like not fun anymore.
My problem is a lot of that stuff that goes on for too long fucking sucks at the end.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened with that. Like, I'm trying to watch like Breaking Bad now because I heard that was a good show, but I just can't sit down and watch it all.
I've heard Breaking Bad is good. I just watched a timeline video on it.
Yeah.
That's it. I get all the major plot points. I get all the nice little story beats, and I might go back and watch some of the scenes.
Right. Like comedy shows are a little bit different because like it's like I laugh at them, like Workaholics and like Letterkenny and stuff. I like watching, but
Right.
that's like I don't even really, like those aren't really like TV shows you have to pay too much attention to because it's just like funny shit happening.
Yeah. Chat listens to podcasts or streams when they drive, like stuff like JRE, because you don't have to watch all of them, just the ones that you're interested in. Yeah, I've watched a decent bit of Joe Rogan stuff. I think sometimes he just kind of like talks for too much. Like, I feel like those episodes don't need to be as long as they are sometimes, which this is something that is very bad. That's why I couldn't have a fucking podcast, because I talk in fucking circles. I'd be saying the same point for 30 fucking minutes, like 50 different ways, and I would annoy the shit out of everybody. Unless the podcast community loves that shit, then
some people need to hear shit 50 times to understand what you're saying, though.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. That shit
I watch a lot of like self-improvement podcast stuff. Like there's this one called Mind Valley, and it's cool because they like go into like different like how to like pick up a skill quicker or whatever, which is nice. But
yeah,
half the time it's like, well, why am I like watching this podcast? I can just be working on picking up the skill quicker.
Right. Yeah, no, I wouldn't like podcasts for that. There was one guy who I used to watch. It was called like The Minority Mindset, and it was this guy named Jaspreet Singh. He was like some Indian dude who just talked about like financial tips and stuff. Because I mean, I like that shit. Like, I mean, I've never had like issues financially with like, because I've been really financially literate my whole life. But like it was still cool to have other people kind of reaffirming points that I've come to. And I think stuff like that is very important because a lot of people don't have that financial literacy. Because I think probably one of the biggest things that has been an issue for the generation that we are involved in is that we're babied way too much, not allowed to fail. And two, like the war on work was fucking terrible. I think I've talked to you about this a little bit, but I can rehash it here. Basically, my entire fucking life, all I heard was, don't you want to work to make more money and work less hard and work less and, you know, shit like that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go be a garbage man because he works a shitty job. You want a cushy desk job where you don't gotta work, or you don't gotta work a lot of hours, or blah, blah, blah. Like, that's one of the most detrimental fucking things that has ever happened to a generation. Like, in a mental state. Because I get, like, maybe not working for somebody, but to tell people that work is bad is so fucking horrific. Because that means that you'll never be able to accomplish your goals because nothing is given to you for free. Unless it's given to you for free. So, like, I mean, my mom was a fucking hustler. And my dad was a fucking savage. You know, he came here from Mexico, and she came from the mud. I watched a lot of struggle. So, like, I knew, like, I never wanted to be like that. So I developed their work ethic. Now, after my mom had gotten on her feet a little bit, my younger siblings just kind of saw the success of her work. They never saw the amount of work that she put in. You know, the skipping meals, the being in like working from home for like 16 hours a day for like 3 months straight type shit. They never saw that. They just got all the cool shit that popped up in their room. And so I always understood that like work had to be done. But I knew that I never wanted to work for anybody. So that's how I'm like when I'm obsessive about my shit, it's because I know that it can pay off if I am obsessive and if I put in that work. Just like with the YouTube channel. Like my 4th video on this channel, my complete guide to TFT, has almost 20,000 views in 2 or 3 months on a 300 sub channel. I believe that I do pretty good work, but it's because I work. Like, I actually put effort into my shit. You know, it's not just like you don't just get shit for free. And to tell people that one type of profession is inherently of a higher standing than another is really fucking annoying and condescending as shit. I get like, oh yeah, you want better for your kids or whatever, but don't fucking shit on a McDonald's worker and still want to pick up your fucking nuggets. Like, don't be that kind of smarmy person. That shit's fucking goofy to me. Like, I just don't get it. That's why, like, if someone I've known people who I went to high school with who still work at McDonald's, and if it keeps their stomach full, and if they lay their head down at night with a smile on their face, who the fuck am I to go and shit on their dreams and tell them they need to do better? Why does my opinion and expectation have fuck all to do with their happiness? And that's just how I live my life. Like, whatever you want to do, make sure you do it hard. Make sure that you put in your work, and make sure that it's something that you love. Because like I said, that time is fucking valuable. So go for it. You know? That's it. That's it. Whatever it is, Godspeed. Godspeed. Go crazy. Go hard. You know?
I love going hard.
That's it. That's it. Like, that's really it. Because, I mean, I've had a bunch of people. Like, I've had, like, girls with OnlyFans, like, come up to me and just, like, try to talk about, like, oh, I want to do this, but blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, like, as long as you understand everything that comes, like, you could get leaked. Like, if you're fine with anything in any decision, if you go work at a fucking restaurant, you know what you're going to get paid. You know you're going to get tips. If you are on OnlyFans, you know that some piece of shit's probably going to try and leak you. If you are selling exclusively on the side, go and do that. If you're a fucking drug dealer, fucking take a business class. Take a marketing class. I'm sure it'll improve your business. Just like stuff like that. So I've been able to help out people in various ventures because I understand these concepts, and business is business. You just transfer it over. You just move it to the side. So it's all about learning. And learning is something that's good, but people are so turned off by learning because of the fucking school systems. Which I don't blame them. Because, I mean, I fucking should have failed 8th grade.
I hate memorizing to answer a test that I'm never gonna see again.
Yeah. This is the thing. In 8th grade, I had all Fs. And they were going to hold me back. But they didn't hold me back because all of my Fs were for fucking homework. I had no homework assignments turned in my entire 8th grade year. And I had like 30% in every class. I had 100% on every single test for every single fucking class. And then that's why they passed me. Because they said, you fucking understand the shit, you're just not doing your homework. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to do my homework. It is not interesting me. I don't give a fuck about this. Like, I would have dropped out of high school if I could have. Because I could have done so much more shit. Like, high school was such a fucking waste of time to me. And this was proven when I was in math. I had like a 105 in math or some shit. I was never really a big school person. It was just easy for me at that point. And we went into a new subject matter where there was some new fucking equation. I don't remember. And I didn't understand the equation. Could not get it. Could not for the life of me fucking understand it. You could show me a rocket science equation. It'd be like the same shit. However, I understood the problem. And I created an entirely new fucking equation. An entirely new equation. One with different like variables and different methods that was simpler for me to understand, and that I was able to teach people and actually show them the concept of the math subject. Not the equation trying to say it, but the mental picture of how that applies in the real world. And she failed me a first semester because I didn't use the equation in the book. So, like, at that point, I was like, fuck it. There's nothing here for me. Like, there's nothing in this school system for me. And I gave up. I'm like, fuck it. Like, I could be in a math book right now with a whole new equation for a conceptual, like a conceptual theory in math or something. But our fucking school system failed me. So, I said fuck it. And that's just not that's one of the things that I knew I could never belong in a system like that. Cause they're just making you answer questions and shit. And high school is for people who want to go to college. Realistically. High school is for people who want to fucking go to college. Like, if you're in high school and you want to do anything that doesn't require a college degree, it's so much more beneficial, in my opinion, to drop out if you are able to test out of the fundamentals to exist in the real world. Like, I think there's a lot of baseline things that people are not taught in school because they assume that parents are going to teach them. Well, fun fact, like, a lot of people don't have parents to teach them that stuff. And the other thing is, a lot of parents don't know this shit. Because parents aren't inherently smart. They're just older kids. Like, I remember showing my mom math problems, and she's just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And, like, I'm like, well, shit, there we go. Like, that's the thing. Because, I mean, a lot of parents, especially ones like mine, who just worked a lot. I mean, look, like, my mom worked 60 hours a week. She doesn't have time for some fucking homework. She doesn't have time to teach me this extra shit. Put a fucking class on it. Replace my fucking 4th year of English class with fucking, like, something that actually will teach me something. You know? There's so much, like, comprehensive skills that people don't know, and it's just insane to me. And then the fact that people have been babied so much that I think it has fucked a lot of people over. To some extent, I think it fucked me over. But I was also very unconsciously apprehensive at my mom for a lot of stuff. Because she was, like, really obsessive over my fucking money. Like, when I had a job and shit at, like, 15, she's like, you're saving all your money and blah, 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 and all this shit. Every time I'd take out $20 or something, for something, it'd be for gas or something, she'd, like, call me and be like, where's your fucking money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, let me make you proud. Like, let me show you I can do shit with my own money. Let me show you that I can be an adult. Let me show you that I know how to... Let me show you that you raised me right. That you taught me the skills to make me the person that can be successful. Let me fail at 15 with a fucking pop tire and no car for a week. Don't let me fail when I'm 25 and have to have something hit my fucking credit on my house. Because that's the thing. If you're a kid and you get punched in the face a couple times in a fight, you get punched in the face at a bar when you're 23 and it's who gives a fuck? But if you've never been touched in your fucking life and someone taps you on the shoulder when you're 19, oh my fucking God, the world is ending. Yeah, high school teaches you almost nothing. That applies to life. Once you get out of middle school, it kind of doesn't teach you anything. I mean, even to that extent, like, cursive and shit didn't really matter. I think that it's sad that, like, cursive and shit's dying, because I think that calligraphy is an art in its own self, and it's not a very popular one. But, I mean, supply and demand, I guess. Yeah, unless your high school offers the classes. And that's the thing, there's differences between the high schools that are so fucking crazy. That matters, such as trades, taxes, and how to manage money. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't know how to manage money. A lot of people don't know how to file taxes. A lot of people don't know tax exemptions. A lot of people don't know, like, tricks with stuff. It's insane. Yeah, don't stay in school. Yeah, absolutely. I love that video. I showed that video to my mom, like, 2 days after it came out. Because I was trying to, like, show her, like, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. And she's just like, they're telling you to not stay in school. No, you gotta get an education. I'm like, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. But that's like, I mean, but that's a difference. there's some people who just aren't willing to change their mindset like that, because that's not their reality. That's not their point of view. You know, she missed the point then. Yep. Yeah. That's it, but it's something like you got to come to peace with. Like, I don't blame her. I don't blame her because I get it. Cuz like I know her history, her past. You know, she had her things that she wanted to do, and she ended up having to work, and she didn't want us all to work like that. But the thing is, working like that ain't that bad. Like, some people are fine with working 60 hours a week, sweating, you know. Some people love that shit. Like, how do I know if I love that shit or not? If you only show me one path. She'll let me do both. She'll let me try both. You know? You should let me, experience what it's like to have hard work, hard, back-breaking fucking work. And then see if I want to make the opinion of, oh, I don't ever want to fucking do this. Or if I go home, look in the fucking mirror, and I'm like, damn, I'm kind of swole. This is paying off. Because then that shows you that your fucking work, that your fucking back, when it hurts, when your fucking arms are sore, is paying off. Those are lessons that are so important to teach kids. But, like, adults are not willing to see kids as their own individuals. And I was talking to some dude at my old job. He was talking about all that stuff, and I told him, because he's like an educator and stuff. I told him, I'm like, dude, like you just children and like teens, they just want to be like recognized to some extent. Like, they want to be talked to as equals, and I think a lot of people like that. For instance, there was a TED talk on like some dude who was the title of the video was like, I was almost a school shooter or something. And he talked about, like, how he had all of these horrific issues and stuff. And I mean, basically, people treated him like a fucking, like, an anomaly. Like a weirdo. Like, so he said, like, I bought a gun. I had my cousin pick up some weed, and I bought a gun. And I was going to go shoot up the school. And then, like 2 days before he was planning to do it, one of his, like, classmates, like, one of his, like, half close friends that, like, he had already stolen from before, that had forgiven him for it, basically just sat down next to him and said, like, hey, I got this sandwich. Do you want half of it? And then, like, he gave him half the sandwich, and they just sat there and talked. That was it. And he says, like, in that moment where he was just talked to as a person, it changed. Like, it changed a lot about him. Like, he said that, people who are hurt in all this, or people who want to be recognized, like in the case of kids, because they want their autonomy. If you're trying to put adult responsibilities on a teenager, you better give them the benefits of being an adult too. Because then you're just putting pressure on pressure for no reason. And then he just said, he treated me like it was a Tuesday. And I mean, mental health is a huge thing, right? And I myself have had some issues with it. And I've seen issues, and I've talked to people who have issues with mental health. And one of the biggest things I hear is, like, I fucking hate it when I'm treated like a charity case. Or when people make every conversation with me about my mental case. Like, yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm depressed. That's not all I am, though. And so, I mean, when the guy said, he treated it like a Tuesday, that made a lot of sense to me, because it's like, you're not looking at this person like a threat. You're not looking at them like a charity case. You're not looking at them like a monster. All you're doing is you're just sharing a sandwich and talking like two regular people, and that's it. And as small of a gesture as that probably was, I mean, sometimes all it takes is just that level of understanding. Just that middle ground of just treating people like people. That's it. You know? Like, because sometimes you just forget that. People are so caught up in all the bullshit, whether it's someone who you care about, like a parent trying to dictate your future. Because that was the biggest issue I had with my mom. Because I wanted to drop out of high school. I had a bunch of creative ventures that I was wanting to do. And instead, me wanting to gain the approval of my mom, I basically was trying to follow her path, the path that she wanted for me. My siblings, I mean, like, I'm the most competent out of my siblings. My brother's a piece of shit, and my sister has, like, a learning disability. So, from a very young age, I knew that if my mom was going to gain approval from other parents, and if she was going to get the validation of her parenting skills, that I was going to have to be the poster child. I was going to have to be a doctor. I was going to have to be an engineer. I was going to have to do something like that, because without that, she would have felt like she failed like a parent. And this is something that I understood at like 9 years old. So anytime I wanted to do something that I wanted to do, like I wanted to make YouTube videos when I was in like fucking like 2010, 2012, when I was like 13, 14, 15, something like that. I don't remember. When I was young, basically I'd just bring it up to my mom. I'd be like, look at this cool shit I'm trying to do. And she'd be like, that's good, but are you still going to your classes? You know, because at that time in high school, I was taking colleges at not like an Ivy League school, but like a middle ring school. Long story short, it was for like computer stuff, and basically I would have been like 19, making like 70 grand due to the amount of setup work that I was doing. But it was never what I wanted. And that was something that unfortunately my mother could never understand. Because while I could find a middle ground there, and while I could step into her shoes and understand how her mind works and how she came to the conclusions that she does things, she was never willing to do that for me. And that's okay. I don't blame her, because it's a little bit hard to do that with everybody. And I'm sure that she has a whole lot more things to worry about. So for me, at some point, that level of never being able to hear, like, okay, yes, I approve of your decision to follow your dreams 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts. Eventually I just stopped needing it. And that's a very weird thing, right? You know, like, because if you don't, like, I had searched for validation for so long, but after you don't have it for so long, you no longer need it, which is a very sad thing too. Because now it's like, if I show my mom my YouTube channel and she says it's awesome, she says it's great, she tells me the words that I needed to hear when I was young, I don't care anymore, unfortunately. Like, it'd be great, it'd be cool, it's a thumbs up, but ultimately I've evolved past the need for it. I chased that for far too many years, and unfortunately now it's too late. But it is what it is. You know, if you spend too much, I spent so many years. This is why we talk about the time thing. I spent so many years doing shit that I didn't like. And eventually, after it all hit me, like, it all hit me at once. Because I went on a cruise, and I'd done one of my little creative ventures. And basically the guy who was organizing the event, like, pulled me to the side, and he's like, look, what are you doing right now? And I said, I'm going to college, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like a sophomore in fucking high school. Going to fucking college classes. In addition to schooling. In addition to all this other shit. And then He said, "Is that what you want to do?" And I looked at him and I'm like, I didn't know what the fuck to say. Was it what I did? It wasn't what I wanted to do, but I had never been asked. I had never been genuinely asked in a no stakes situation, what do you want? It was always, if I was asked that, it was under the pretense of educational systems and making my mom happy. That was what it was. Love to have a full conversation with you on the world, because it seems like you've learned a lot. Learning a lot and it would help a lot. Mind if I ask how old you are now? I'm not gonna reveal my direct age. I'll just say I'm younger than 25. But yes, I've lived a long life. I've had plenty of time to think. I've had plenty of time to talk. And I mean, my biggest thing is I've always asked people about their stories, because I feel like you can learn from anybody's stories. I've worked plenty of jobs at like factories and things. And I think factories are where you meet some of the most melancholy people. The people who are most content with their lives, but are the most dissatisfied as well. Because factories give you a lot of money, but not a lot of payoff. Yeah. You're good. You're good. But I mean, that was the thing. I always asked people, what's your, their story. And I always think about people, and I've always doing that. And to some extent, to some extent, there's something wrong with my brain. I don't think it's I'm on the spectrum of autistic or something. I very well could be. My mom thought I was. That was a hilarious story. But I mean, it's just I've always overanalyzed things. I don't think I had a big social network when I was really young, so maybe I didn't develop social skills the same way normal people do, and maybe that's why I overanalyze things a lot. But yeah, I mean, if you listen to people's stories, you'll hear their mistakes. They'll tell you them, because they remember them. I mean, there's so many. And I actually told a similar story to this, to someone who actually watched my TFT streams before. More on a personal thing. It was a live inside of a Discord server. And he was 40 something, or 30 something. And basically, he had the exact same situation as me. He basically, he wanted to be an artist or something. And his family disapproved so much. But the difference was that when it clicked for me, when I was actually told, what do you want to do? And I figured it the fuck out. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do all of this shit. I don't fucking want this. I want to do this thing. I want to do this. I want to be happy pursuing this thing. I want what I want. Why can't I have what I want? Why do I always have to do this for everybody else? I didn't know any other way at the time. Like I said, I'd done this stuff since I was 9. At 9, I felt like I had the responsibility of the family, I was very aware very young. So eventually, it came to blows with my mom. Because what my mom wanted was that she wanted the success and all that, all the money and the whole oh yeah, get the job first and then worry about whatever. It came to a point where I was no longer willing to make concessions on my happiness. I was no longer willing to sit there and be unhappy when I'm, 25, paying my own bills. Because that's what the dude on the cruise told me. He said, when you're 25 and you have to pay your own bills, make sure you're doing something that you're happy with. And that's what put it in perspective with me. That's what really knocked me into gear with it. But I was saying with the other guy, the dude who was in his 30s or 40s, he's just now starting to do what he likes. And I remember him telling me, I told him my story and he told me his, and he said, wow, you were 14, 15, 16 when you stood up for yourself. And I didn't. And I mean, in that moment, I heard it in his voice. I heard who I could have been if I did not learn that lesson. And I've never looked back. Eventually, it came out in such a grit, you know. Eventually, like I said, I was no longer willing to make concessions on my happiness. I was no longer even willing to fucking do any of the shit. Anything that I didn't want. If I did not fucking want to do it, I was not going to fucking do it. And there wasn't a goddamn thing anyone was going to say. That was it. Because I had spent my entire fucking life doing the things that everyone else wanted. And I had nothing to show for it. And I was just no longer content with doing that. Learned a lot from people at my work. 2 times my age, best friend is like 45. Yeah. Time and wisdom are hand in hand most of the time, depending on who you're talking to. I always say I've lived a long life. Like I said, I'm under 25. I guess it's subjective, but like, I mean, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from people. And I'm always willing to listen. I'm a very good listener because at some point in time, they're going to reveal to you mistakes that maybe you could have made. You know, in the same way that, you know, the guy and I had talked where he said that I stood up for myself. Unfortunately, that was a lesson he had to learn a little bit too late. And I wish him the best going forward, but I was not willing to resign myself to that same fate. And that's just, you know, in that moment, maybe I had some wisdom to offer him. I'm always willing to listen. No matter if you're, you know, 14 or 90, there's probably something I can learn from you. There's probably something that you know that I don't. And I'm willing to learn. I'm always willing to learn. I've always loved learning. But, you know, don't like structure the way that I have to learn things. Because that just doesn't work for me. Live and let live, I guess. Yeah, kind of funny how jobs do that. 17, 19, getting your first real job, and suddenly your favorite person is in their 30s, 40s. Yup. Doing the cruise was right. You can live your life for someone else's happiness for very long. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The thing I always tell people is that you are the only consistent factor in your life. And what I'm going to say is not a very good idea, right? Because I believe that I can't provide any life advice for things, right? I can only provide my point of view and my perspective. But due to my past and things of the sort, I'm not going to get into it very much. I try to keep as much personal matters out of the channel and everything as I possibly can. Try to keep all that a little bit private. But basically, to sum up everything, when I was younger, I was like very aware of like my annoying behaviors because I think I had like either ADHD or autism or some shit. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't go to doctors. Fuck it. But I just I understood that there was just something off with me, and I couldn't get what it was. So I would say really annoying shit, and I'd understand I was being really fucking annoying. And I'd be like, why the fuck can't I shut my fucking mouth? And then I didn't have any friends because I was being annoying. I was being an annoying little piece of shit. So I didn't have any friends. And all I wanted was friends. So eventually, somewhere it clicked and I shut my fucking mouth. Because I had no social skills at all. I never hung out with like kids when I was a baby. I was never like good with that. And like I said, I probably have some like legitimate deformity or something with my brain, for lack of a better word. So I didn't have any friends growing up. And then from that point on, throughout my entire life, I have not retained a friend group of like relatively close-knit people for more than 2 years at a time. whether we go our separate ways, whether we maybe have a falling out, or whether they died. I realized very young that people are temporary, and that I know it's why I don't make promises. Because if I make a promise to you tonight and I tell you I'll be there for you tomorrow, and I go drive home and I crash my fucking car into a tree and I die, I have now failed my promise to you. Because shit happens. I'm not willing to put the burden of any of that on anybody else. I'm not willing to rely on anybody else because of what I've learned ultimately. I mean, it's mostly just it's just my reality. It's my point of view. If the lights are off and you're looking into a room, that's your point of view. Your reality is that there's nothing in there you can't see. If the lights are on, maybe you see, a TV, maybe you see a computer. That's your point of view. That's literally your point of view. That's your perspective. That's what you see. You see something else that is there. And for me, the only thing I've seen since I was very young was that people will never stay in your life. Eventually, everybody goes. And this is a very dark point of view, and it could very well be wrong, because that's specifically for me. So just because it happens to me doesn't mean that it happens to everybody else. Like I said, I'm an anomaly. I know plenty of people with lifelong friends. But eventually, because of that, and because of my staunch independence, I've completely grown out of the need for conventional human contact. Which is why I prefaced this entire thing with, this is not a good thing. It's not natural to not require human contact. I know a lot of people were joking about, like, oh, the quarantine stuff, I did this stuff before. I mean, like, the difference is, I think a lot of people, when they play video games and stuff, are content doing it. Maybe not happy, but more content. For me, like, if you tell me once a week to go out, like, shopping for fucking 30 minutes, it's like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't want to. Like, I'll babysit a pack of ramen or, like, a packet of chicken just because I don't feel like going out. Because I get more dopamine release from literally sitting in isolation. I know this is a weird concept, and I don't know if anybody here in the chat room streams. I've been talking to myself here. My friend left the call like 30 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago. So, I very often talk to myself. I don't need human contact. That's not natural. That's not good. It's not a good thing to be that level of damaged as to where you do not require literally any contact. So that's why I say, like, the decisions I make and the way that I live my life is the way that I do it. I don't ever give people life advice for things like that. I can only give my perspective. Which is why, I mean, I'm kind of bad at things like funerals. 'Cause I'm sorry, but I've been to too many of these. Like, I know what to tell you, and I'm going to tell you that because it doesn't hinder me to tell you the words that you need to hear. But, like, I'm sorry, like, I've buried too many people. Like, this is just a Tuesday for me. Like, I've grown the need for that attachment to people. And that it is what it is. And when you do that, you lose a support circle, but you also lose the requirement for one. You also, the bad things are all of like the social implications and all of like the mental health stuff. But the benefits of it are the fact that I am completely independent. I know that if anything fucks up, I can handle it because I'm never going to rely on anybody else. So, at some point, it's almost a question of, is it actually that bad? You know, is the past going to justify the future? Because I guess I'll give this information away a little bit. I bought a house when I was 21. You know, I bought a house. I'm not renting. It's not an apartment. I bought a house when I was 21. Due to me never having to rely on anybody else with my drive and my doing shit to the most, when I do anything, I want it more than I want to fucking breathe. And I'll figure it out and I'll stay up. I pull at least 2 all-nighters a week because I am so fucking annoyed at the concept of time that I refuse to fucking sleep. That I am so stubborn to let anything get in the way of my goals that I will not allow my body to get in my fucking way. I used to play guitar, and I would literally play until my fingers bled. And, like, I would continue to play. Because not even my body was going to get in my way if I wanted to learn something. And I've actually injured my hand. Since then, I cut a nerve in my pointer finger, so I've since kind of put the guitar away. But we'll see if the nerve fixes itself. I don't go to the doctors because I don't feel like paying doctor's bills. But, you know, those are all choices that I can make because I'm independent and because I choose to conduct myself this way. It is very peaceful not having to ever worry about anybody else. But unless you are ready for, I don't know how to put it, but I guess a weird way of putting it is like, I wonder if the Buddha felt alone, right? Like, if you reach nirvana, but you can't share nirvana with anybody, are you truly at peace? Is kind of like one of the things I've always thought about. Because I'm very much at peace. Enlightenment comes at a cost. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know peace, and I am no stranger to sacrifice. But, like I said, it comes with peace. You know, anyone who I talk to, anyone who I know, if I gotta go to another funeral, I mean, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed a tear. That's it. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? That I'm no longer hurt by that, but that I also am no longer allowed to make those attachments. So it's really a very big, like, toss-up, right? Because you just got to think about it like that. Like, it's like if you truly find peace, but nobody else can understand your peace. Like, imagine you figure out how to print gold, but, like, nobody can, like, believe you. They're just like, nah, I don't get it. It's like, but I want to give you gold. I want to show you. And they're just like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I can't understand that. I'm not willing to see that side of it. Like, how peaceful is that? It's a fallacy. It's a contradiction. Like, you know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, I guess, like that. Because I do feel at peace. I'm very much at peace. I have no attachment to any sentimental values or valuables or anything like that. It all just comes down to, I know whatever happens, that I'm going to have to just walk forward. That's it. I think that those of us who have to walk, will. Some people are just made to move forward, no matter what. And, it is not easy. It is not easy, but I know that no matter how hard it gets, I'm going to have to move forward. That's it. In my opinion, whatever it's worth. Not a good or a bad thing, just a thing being self-aware. Yeah. The only bad thing about being self-aware is the fact that I can't use like excuses, right? I think it's one of my I guess we could call it a flaw. Because whenever something happens, my brain doesn't cry about it. My brain doesn't, my brain looks to move to figure out how to better avoid that situation in the future. I've got a very like computeristic, like logarithmic fucking brain. It's a reason why I think I picked up TFT so well, because it's just a very literal interpretation of it. But like, I mean, the big things are like, if I leave my window open one day and then my house gets robbed, I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, well, that sucked that my house got robbed, but I'm going to lock my windows from now on. I might install cameras. That's it. It sucks. Life happens. We move on. Because if I sit there and cry, if I sit there and get mad and, freak out about something, that doesn't solve my problem. And all I care about is solving my problems because, for me, I don't have a lot of time to cry about things. Like, I don't have time. I don't fucking have time. Like, it's okay to cry. It is. Like, it's completely fine. I just came in your house, got freaking robbed. No, that was just an example. I mean, I've had money taken from me before, but I've never been properly robbed before. But, yeah, no, we're just talking about, general stuff, like with, life and stuff. We're on philosophy now after the lunch. But no, it's just like, yeah, no, if my house got robbed, like, yeah, I'm gonna be there and like, that sucks. Yeah. And then what? What do? If you can go and retrieve your items, go and retrieve your items. If you can't, what are you gonna do? Because you have a couple options, obviously. Most people will get mad or they'll get angry or, all that. It's a perfectly human response to do that. But don't waste too much time on that. And that's something that I see a lot of people have problems with. They'll have something bad happen to them and then they'll like cry about it for too long. Look, the world is not stopping for you to cry. So cry, yes. Because sometimes you just need to let it out. But you also have to realize that the world is not stopping. And you're eventually going to have to catch up. So, I've had plenty of people get like robbed or mugged or shit like that. Oh, dude, this shit sucks so bad, man. Oh, man, fuck this. Blah, 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 blah. Like, but what are you doing now? Or people will do the same shit like, oh, I went out, go out to a bad part of town and I left my fucking phone on my lap. I don't know. I guess I can try and clarify that. So, in the hood, don't put your fucking phone out. Because people will fucking take that shit. And if you try to chase after them, they'll fucking shoot your ass. So, just if you guys are ever in the fucking hood. But that's the thing. I knew a guy who had like 2 of his fucking phones stolen. I'm like, really? You went to the hood. Hold up. You went to the hood. You let your phone out. You put it on your fucking lap. You looked at it, the dude in his face. He grabbed your shit and he ran off. Like, and then you went back to the hood and put the phone back on your lap a second time, and a different dude ran off. Like, I'm sorry. At some point, you have to learn from your mistakes and then not do it again, because that second time, I'm just going to be laughing at you. Yeah, it sucks your phone got taken, but like, how many times are you going to pay for that lesson? How many phones are you going to lose to pay for the lesson of, oh, I'm not going to fucking do that again? Because for me, I don't see that as, wow, people are pieces of shit for taking the phones. Yeah, no shit. The world is not a nice place. I've learned that. I've understood that lesson. So like, whenever some shit happens to me, I'm always looking to prevent it in the future, or I'm willing to get 5 phones. There you go. But that's just like, I'm not willing to do that, and I'm also not willing to put myself in a bad situation like that just so I can bitch about it later, because I don't have time to bitch either. Like, for a lot of people, it feels like they would rather do shitty, put themselves in a bad situation so that they can say the world is a bad place and so that they can be a victim about it. Me, I'd never want to be victimized. I never want to do that. And I mean, I don't want anyone else to be a victim. Like, I don't. Trust me, there's a lot of bad shit that happens out there. I know you guys probably all know a bunch of bad shit that happens to people. And like, I'm always for preventative measures. First and foremost, if you can get a fucking void card, get a fucking gun. It's my biggest advice. Get a fucking gun. If you're a dude, if you're a woman, get a fucking gun. Because there's gonna be a time where you learn that the world is not such a nice place. And I would rather you have the defense than to have to go to therapy later. Trust me. You know. Send Alistar. Vager's my fave. No, I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun, but that's for different reasons. But no, in theory, everyone should have a void card and everyone should have a gun. Because I think that it's very important to be able to protect yourself. And maybe it's not a gun, right? Maybe you just take like self-defense, well, not self-defense classes. Don't fucking take self-defense classes. Like a martial art. Because martial arts will not only help you defend yourself, they'll also kind of give you a little bit more discipline. You know? So, like, I mean, if it, like, something, just something, do something that in the event that you are faced with a threat, you're able to handle your situation. I'm a problem solver. I solve problems. If there's a situation that comes up, I want to be able to deal with it. This is why, I mean, like I said, I'm an obsessive learner. This is why I think I'm pretty decent at tearing apart teamfight tactics. I can assess situations and be like, this is probably why these situations are working the way that they're working. You know, it's the same thing with life. It's just my brain is just wired that way. That's why I think I can explain some of these abstract concepts in a little bit more basic light. But I mean, yeah, it's just preventing things from happening. And I mean, just like I talk about in TFT, it's just reducing the amount of chances of bad shit to happen. You know, if you have 50 gold at level 7, it's a whole lot better than having 50 gold at level 5, you know, or 20 gold at level 5, you know, because you're allowing yourself more chances. Or let's say 20 gold at level 7 versus 50 gold at level 7. You have 30 more gold at like the 12% chance or whatever to hit something. So you have 30 gold for an extra 12% chance on each roll. That is monumentally bigger than 0. So if you're faced in a bad situation and you don't have a card to play, if someone comes up to you and tries to like rob you or worse, I mean, if you don't have a card to play, then it's an eighth. I mean, I don't know. That was morbid, but like, I'm sorry. That's just kind of how I process a lot of that. And you know, I mean, I hope that's some information that's fucking good. Like, This turned into a fucking rant. I finished my torta like an hour ago. Or my fucking tostadas. I've just been fucking chilling here. Chat with Fuffin. I like these, though. I like these. It's a whole lot, less high stakes, I guess. And I can do these over anything anyway. It's just a lot easier to be able to speak like this without having to focus on the fucking video game. But do we want to continue this conversation, or do we want to get back into the gameplay? Because I'm fine with either. I think I said most of what I needed to say. Yeah, time and space event. Yeah, I mean, it's stuff. I mean, this is all stuff that I've spoken to my own four walls plenty of times. It's just like I've had these conversations many, many, many times. Sometimes I think it gives me a little bit more peace to be able to maybe tell other people. You know, because maybe while I'm trying to learn from somebody, you know, maybe I can help teach them too. I can never choose the path that somebody can walk down. I can merely show them the paths that I've walked, and then they can make the decision if that's the path that they're willing to take. TFT. Yeah, I'll go for that. The world with Fuffin. I've been shooting my bow while listening. I love this. I appreciate it. I'm always down for these. I usually don't do like little lunch breaks, because the streams usually don't last that long, but I've been trying to work my way back up to those. But I'll definitely go back to TFT. But yeah, that's your call. We're at your stream, not any ours. I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't be doing this stream right now or talking right now if this had 0 viewers. So you guys are the lifeblood of this. So I do appreciate you guys. And like I said, like, your time is fucking valuable. And the fact that you want to spend it here listening to me ramble about philosophical bullshit is really cool, and I appreciate that. That's why I try not to ask for like subscribers or donation. I mean, I don't even accept donations right now. I'm not even monetized. But, I'm not, your time is worth enough to me. Maybe someday when I have qualified for my monetization and I make better content and I feel as though it is worth it to me to begin to ask for subscriptions and ask for, not even ask for money. I'm never going to ask for fucking money, but to at least accept money when I feel like I have done enough for you guys to warrant that. Then, that'll be it. But for now, your time is your time is ultimately the most valuable thing. So I appreciate that always. So yeah, we'll get back to TFT. We chatted a little bit about the stuff with the mid-set expansion here and all that. But I will be running to the bathroom real quick, and I'll get a drink of water. So yeah, I'll be on my phone though, always. So I'll be checking the chat. I'll be like 5 minutes at the absolute most.